Welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most shocking moments in daytime television history. Imagine this: the charismatic powerhouse Samuel L. Jackson, the man who's commanded screens from Pulp Fiction to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, steps onto the vibrant set of The Jennifer Hudson Show, expecting the usual blend of laughter, music, and heartfelt chats that Jennifer Hudson is famous for delivering. But what unfolds is nothing short of a Hollywood hurricane. It all starts innocently enough on a crisp autumn morning in 2025, with the audience buzzing in their seats, the studio lights gleaming like diamonds on the Chicago skyline backdrop. Jennifer, with her infectious smile and powerhouse voice that once wowed American Idol, introduces Samuel as her guest to promote his latest venture, a gritty new thriller called Echoes of Vengeance, where he plays a retired CIA operative unraveling a global conspiracy. The crowd erupts in applause. Samuel struts out in his signature sharp suit, exuding that cool, unflappable vibe we've come to adore. They kick off with light banter. Jennifer teases him about his endless energy at 76, and Samuel fires back with a quip about her keeping up with him on the dance floor. Laughter ripples through the room. The band plays a funky riff, and for a moment, it feels like the perfect synergy of two icons sharing the stage. But beneath the surface, tensions simmer, waiting to boil over like a pot left too long on the stove. As the conversation delves deeper, Jennifer shifts gears, her eyes sparkling with the journalist's curiosity she honed from her Oprah apprenticeship. She asks Samuel about the evolution of black representation in Hollywood, a topic close to both their hearts. Samuel leans in, his voice steady and resonant, recounting his early struggles in the 70s theater scene, the doors slammed in his face, the roles that typecast him before he broke through with that unforgettable monologue in Jungle Fever. Jennifer nods vigorously, sharing her own journey from Chicago's public housing to Oscar Gold. How Dreamgirls was her Pulp Fiction moment. The audience eats it up, sensing the genuine connection, but then Jennifer pivots to a more pointed question. Sam, you've been vocal about colorism in the industry. How do you feel about roles going to lighter-skinned actors when darker-skinned talents like yourself paved the way? It's a bold probe, one that sparked debates from red carpets to Twitter threads. Samuel pauses, his brow furrowing just a touch, the room holding its collective breath. He responds thoughtfully at first, praising the progress while acknowledging the persistent gaps, name-dropping trailblazers like Denzel and Angela Bassett. But Jennifer presses on, perhaps a bit too eagerly, citing a recent casting controversy involving a remake of a classic blaxploitation film where a biracial actress landed the lead over established dark-skinned stars. Isn't it time for a real reckoning? She challenges, her tone laced with passion. Samuel's eyes narrow, that famous intensity bubbling up out of the same fire that made Jules Winfield so terrifyingly magnetic. Jennifer, with all due respect, reckonings don't happen in sound bites on shows like this, he retorts, his voice dropping an octave. The audience shifts uncomfortably, murmurs rippling like whispers in a cathedral. What was meant as a dialogue starter spirals into a dissection, Samuel feeling cornered, Jennifer defending her right to ask the tough questions. And just like that, the gloves come off. As the argument heats up, Samuel's frustration mounts, his words slicing through the air like a lightsaber. He accuses Jennifer of using the platform for gotcha journalism rather than genuine elevation, drawing parallels to his own experiences with media traps during the height of the #MeToo reckonings. Jennifer, never one to back down, or remember her fierce takedown of online trolls after her talk show launch, counters that true progress demands discomfort, that silence is complicity. The band, sensing the storm, quiets to a hush, the director's cues falling on deaf ears as the two titans clash. Samuel rises from his seat, gesturing emphatically, his presence filling the stage like a thundercloud. I've spent decades fighting these fights off camera, not for viral clips. He booms, and the audience gasps, some cheering, others frozen in shock. Jennifer stands too, her hands outstretched in plea, but her words only fan the flames, and I'm fighting them here, now, for all of us watching. The exchange devolves into rapid-fire barbs, Samuel invoking his civil rights activism roots, Jennifer pulling from her gospel choir resilience. Backstage whispers from producers turn to frantic calls. Do they cut to commercial? Let it play out. The control room is chaos, monitors flickering with split screens of the escalating drama. Finally, as Samuel's voice reaches a crescendo, declaring, "This isn't a conversation, it's an ambush," security edges onto the set, a rare sight in daytime TV's feel-good realm. Jennifer's face flushes, a mix of hurt and defiance, but before she can respond, the unthinkable happens. Samuel, in a huff of righteous anger, storms toward the exit, producers trailing like shadows. The audience erupts in a cacophony of boos, cheers, and stunned silence, cameras capturing every raw emotion. And in that instant, a segment meant to celebrate unity fractures into a viral sensation, lighting up social media faster than a wildfire in dry California brush. This wasn't just an interview gone wrong, it was a collision of eras, egos, and eras in the making of modern celebrity. As the credits nearly roll prematurely, the world tunes in, hungry for the fallout, the apologies, the think pieces that would soon flood every outlet from TMZ to the New York Times. Samuel L. Jackson kicked off the Jennifer Hudson Show, words that would echo through headlines, memes, and midnight monologues for weeks to come. But to understand the depth of this rift, we must rewind further, peeling back the layers of these two extraordinary lives that led to this fateful face-off. To truly grasp the magnitude of this blow-up, let's journey back to the origins of the stars involved, because nothing in Hollywood happens in a vacuum. Every outburst is woven from the threads of personal triumphs, scars, and unyielding ambitions. Samuel Leroy Jackson, born in the segregated south of Chattanooga, Tennessee, in 1948, grew up in a world where no colored signs weren't just history book footnotes but daily realities. His mother, a factory worker with dreams deferred, instilled in him a fierce independence, while his grandparents' stories of the Great Migration fueled his early fascination with storytelling as resistance. By his teens, Sam was immersed in the Black Power movement, marching with the NAACP, his voice finding its stage in college theater at Morehouse, where he honed that commanding baritone that would later terrify and inspire millions. But the path to stardom was no straight shot. Post-graduation, he bounced between off-Broadway gigs and drug-fueled haze, hitting rock bottom in the 80s with a cocaine addiction that nearly derailed him forever. It was a near-death scare, overdosing on a flight to Atlanta, that snapped him sober, channeling that raw energy into roles that redefined black masculinity on screen. Think of his breakthrough in Spike Lee's School Days, where he played a frat brother grappling with colorism, irony not lost in today's context, and then exploding into superstardom with Pulp Fiction's Jules, quoting Ezekiel with the fury of a prophet scorned. From there, it's been a relentless ascent, Mace Windu wielding that purple lightsaber, Nick Fury assembling Avengers, and countless box office billions that crowned him the highest-grossing actor alive. Yet, beneath the blockbusters, Sam's always been an activist at heart, founding the One for the Boys prostate cancer awareness campaign after his own diagnosis, and using his platform to call out systemic racism, from police brutality to Hollywood's whitewashing scandals. He's the guy who stormed the stage at the 2016 ESPYs to honor Muhammad Ali, his speeches blending humor with hammer-like truth. Now, enter Jennifer Kate Hudson, a Chicago phenom born in 1981 to a family where music was salvation amid poverty's grip. Raised in Englewood, a neighborhood scarred by violence as she'd lose 3 family members to gun crime in 2008, Jennifer's voice became her armor, belting gospel in church choirs that echoed with Aretha's spirit. Her American Idol run in 2004 was Cinderella in reverse, from favored finalist to 7th place shock, but that rejection was rocket fuel. Spielberg himself spotted her spark, casting her as Effie White in Dreamgirls, where her And I Am Telling You rendition snagged an Oscar in 2007, making her the youngest black woman to win Best Supporting Actress at 25. But glory came shadowed by tragedy that same year. Her ex-boyfriend murdered her mother, brother, and nephew, a horror that tested her faith but forged unbreakable resilience. Jennifer rose from ashes, channeling grief into the Wait Is Over Foundation for anti-violence advocacy, and launching her EGOT journey, Emmy for Hairspray Live, Grammy for self-titled debut, Oscar already in pocket, Tony pending. Her talk show, debuting in 2022 amid pandemic blues, was a love letter to upliftment, blending celebrity chats with everyday heroes, her warmth disarming even the most guarded guests. By 2025, it's a syndication staple, cleared in over 90% of markets, with segments like Hudson Heroes spotlighting unsung changemakers. Their worlds intersected long before this clash. Samuel guested early in her show's run, charming with tales of his wife LaTanya, a Tony-nominated actress, and his rock sin Sadie too, their marriage a masterclass in partnership amid fame's frenzy. Jennifer, too, navigates love's spotlight with ex-David Otunga drama behind her, focusing on daughter David Daniel as her anchor. Both have navigated colorism's sting, Sam decrying it in interviews, Jennifer addressing it post-Oscar, noting how her darker skin once made her invisible in auditions. So when they reunited for this promo spot, it was billed as a dream team-up, two survivors swapping war stories. But fame's a fickle beast. What starts as solidarity can curdle into confrontation when old wounds reopen. In the days leading up to the taping, whispers circulated to Samuel, fresh off a press junket for Echoes of Vengeance, was reportedly irked by a Variety profile on Jennifer's show praising her fresh take on tough topics, implying his generation's activism was yesterday's news. Jennifer, meanwhile, prepped with her team to keep it real, drawing from her Respect biopic role as Aretha, where she learned to channel diva fire. The set hummed with anticipation, makeup artists stabbing final touches, the audience see a mix of superfans, locals, and industry scouts filing in with programs touting SLJJ HUD, icons unite. Little did they know, unity was about to fracture spectacularly, setting the stage for an argument that would expose the fault lines in Black Hollywood's fragile progress. As the red light blinked on, the die was cast, two forces of nature on a collision course that would leave the entertainment world reeling, re-evaluating, and, ultimately, reflecting on the cost of speaking truth to power. Fast forward to the heart of the taping, where the air thickens with unspoken stakes, and what begins as a spark ignites into an inferno that no one saw coming. The segment opens strong, Jennifer, perched on her colorful couch in a vibrant red dress that hugs her curves like a second skin, beams at Samuel as he settles in, his loafers polished to a gleam, a Kangol cap tilted just so. The theme music fades, applause swells, and she dives right in. Sam Jackson, everybody, the man, the myth, the Mamiya, welcome back to the show. He grins that megawatt smile, quipping, Jennifer, if I'm a meme, you're the whole viral video, ain't nobody outshining you. Cue laughter, cue the first commercial tease. Post-break, they pivot to his new film, Samuel describing Echoes of Vengeance with vivid strokes, shadowy alley chases through rain-slicked streets, double crosses that twist like pretzels, his character a grizzled vet haunted by ghosts of ops gone wrong. Jennifer's eyes light up, sounds like my kind of thriller, give us that Samuel intensity. He obliges with a mock glare, the crowd howling, then, seamlessly, she steers to legacy. You've got over 150 films under your belt, a highest grossing ever. What's the secret sauce? Samuel chuckles, curse a lot, quote the Bible wrong, and never take no for an answer. It's gold, pure engagement bait for the daytime demo. But as the clock ticks toward the halfway mark, Jennifer's questions sharpen, her notepad flipping to a dog-eared page of research. Let's get real for a second, she says, leaning forward, the studio lights catching the earnest glint in her eye. Hollywood's come far since your Spike Lee days, but colorism's still lurking in the shadows. Like, why is it always the lighter faces headlining these remakes? Samuel nods slowly, his fingers drumming the armrest, a telltale sign of wheels turning. It's progress with potholes. Jen, we've got Black Panther breaking records, but then you see a Shaft reboot with half the soul. It's exhausting. The audience murmurs agreement, heads nodding like a sea of accord. Emboldened, Jennifer pushes, and as someone who's lived it, don't you think it's time we call out names? Like that recent blaxploitation revival, snubbing vets like you for fresh faces that don't carry the weight. Here's where the temperature spikes. Samuel's posture stiffens, That easy charisma hardening into something steely. Calling out's easy from a couch. I've been in the trenches, boycotting, protesting. You don't get it till you've lived the denial. Jennifer's smile falters, but she rallies. I do get it. Some lost trolls myself for not fitting the pretty mold, but silence keeps the cycle spinning. The back and forth accelerates, words overlapping like a tennis rally gone rogue. Samuel retorts, this ain't therapy hour, it's promo. You turning my spotlight into your soapbox. Gasps punctuate the air. The audience torn as some whispering preach. Others whoa, chill. Jennifer, voice rising with that alto timbre, fires back. Your spotlight. This is our shared stagia for the culture. The argument metastasizes, Samuel invoking his NAACP roots, Jennifer her Southside scars, each accusation laced with half-truths and full hearts. Off camera, the floor director signals frantically, producers huddled in headsets, debating intervention. He's escalating. One mutters let it Bretty a ratings gold, counters another. Samuel stands, towering at 6'2", pointing emphatically, I've earned my voice without ambushing allies. Jennifer rises too, heels clicking defiance. Allies don't dodge the fight. The band leader freezes mid-note, the prompter's cue forgotten. Security, burly figures in black polos, materializes from the wings, a protocol breach in talk show etiquette. Samuel, sensing the trap closing, grabs his mic pack. You want drama? Here it is, I'm out. He strides off, the curtain swishing behind him like a guillotine fall. Jennifer, stunned, turns to the camera. Well, that happened. Stay with us. The audience explodes. Claps, jeers, phones aloft capturing the chaos for TikTok eternity. In the control booth, feeds cut to B-roll of happier times, but the damage is done. A clip that's already pinging across X, Instagram reels lighting up with #Feud. Reactions pouring in like digital confetti. Fans defend Samuel. King don't bow to setups. Supporters rally for Jennifer. She asked the real questions. Who growth hurts. Pundits pile on. From Joy Reid tweeting solidarity to Breakfast Club hosts dissecting the generational beef. Meanwhile, backstage, Samuel's team ushers him to a green room turned war bunker, ice packs for his metaphorical bruises, while Jennifer composes herself, tears threatening but held at bay by sheer will. The show's epilogue airs awkward, a hasty pivot to a feel-good segment on puppy adoptions, but the elephants stomped the room flat. This wasn't mere spat, it was seismic, a mirror to industrials where progress parades as panacea, masking the messy work beneath. As feeds go dark, the internet ignites. Hashtags trending globally, memes morphing Samuel's exit into GIF lore. But the real story? It's just beginning of the calls, the statements, the soul-searching that follows when icons collide and crack the facade. In the blistering aftermath, as the studio lights dim and the real-world repercussions cascade like dominoes in a gale, social media becomes the coliseum where public opinion gladiates without mercy or quarter. Within minutes of the abrupt sign-off, the clip of grainy fan footage first, then polished network leaks explodes across platforms, amassing 10 million views before the first hourglass sands settle. X, that chaotic town square, leads the charge. Samuel Jackson kicked off trends worldwide, sandwiched between election buzz and sports upsets, with users dissecting every frame like CIA analysts poring over satellite intel. Samuel's loyalists, a legion honed from decades of his unapologetic aura, flood timelines with fire emojis and clips of his epic monologues, captioning, "Don't come for the goat unless your horns are titanium." #TeamSLJ, one viral thread, from a film critic with 500k followers, frames it as the ambush that backfired, likening Jennifer's questions to a drive-by interrogation, drawing parallels to Sam's real-life shutdowns of Bill O'Reilly back in the Fox News wars. TikTok, ever the remix factory, spins the moment into sound bites. Teens lip-sync Samuel's "This Ain't" promo. Overdramatic slow-mo exits, racking billions in impressions, while duets pit his baritone against Jennifer's plea in operatic mashups. Instagram stories from celebs pouring in. Denzel Washington posts a cryptic black square with "Respect the Elders." Jamie Foxx drops a laughing emoji reel of old Jackson outtakes, and Viola Davis, a Jennifer ally, shares a measured live. Tough convos aren't attacks, they're awakenings. Love to both, but the backlash bites hard to Jennifer's corner, galvanized by her underdog narrative, counters with montages of her advocacy work. Hashtags like #StandWithJew trending in Black Twitter's heartland. Influencers decry Samuel's gatekeeping. One beauty vlogger with 2M subs ranting, he wants credit for the path but blocks the runners? Nah. Reddit's entertainment erupts in a 50k upvote mega thread. Mods pinning polls. 62% side with Samuel for staying authentic. 38% hail Jennifer for bold journalism. YouTube reactors, from drama channels to pop culture punts, churn out hour-long dissections. Thumbnails screaming the kickoff heard round the world. Views skyrocketing into 8 figures overnight. Mainstream media piles on like vultures to a feast. CNN's morning panel debates celebrity activism or ego clash, with Don Lemon's successor calling it a teachable moment gone toxic. TMZ, scenting blood, leaks alleged texts from producer Sam was warned about hot topics of fueling conspiracy mills that Jennifer's team scripted the spike for Sweeps Month. The New Yorker drops a 2,000-word essay by a cultural critic, When Icons Implode, the Jackson Hudson Fracture and Fractured Solidarity, tracing lineage from Ossie Davis to modern feuds. Even international outlets chime in. A BBC subtitles the clip for puzzled Brits, framing it as American talk show tumult, while Al Jazeera ties it to global colorism discourses and Bollywood parallels. Sponsors twitch nervously. Pepsi, Jennifer's longtime partner, issues a bland "we support open dialogue" tweet, while Samuel's Captain Morgan adds "hold steady." His rump-voiced commercials suddenly prophetic in their smooth under-pressure tagline. Fan forums fracture along generational line as boomers and Gen X lionizing Samuel's no BS ethos, millennials and zoomers vibing with Jennifer's woke warrior energy, Gen Alpha kids just remixing it into Fortnite dances. Late-night TV, sensing comedic tease-up monologues, Colbert deadpans, Samuel L. Jackson got kicked off a show by his own legend, splicing it with snakes on a plane clips Kimmel, still stinging from his own 2025 Jackson dust-up jokes. Note to self, never ask about colorism. Podcasts proliferate. Joe Rogan invites a comedian to unpack the rage, while the Reeds Crystal and Kid Fury dedicate an ep to protecting black women in these streets. Merch even materializes. Etsy sellers Hawkeye survived the Hudson Jackson blow-up tease. Bootleg Ezekiel 25 hours 17 minutes mugs with Jennifer's face photoshopped in. Amid the digital din, private triples spread. Samuel retreats to his LA mansion, LaTanya by his side, fielding calls from agent and therapist alike, journaling the sting to process the betrayal vibe. Jennifer, in her Chicago high-rise, hugs her daughter tight, scrolling support from Aretha's estate and Fantasia, her vocal coach reminding her, "Baby, your voice shakes," thrown as if that's the gift and the curse. Networks scramble. Warner Brothers, behind both stars' projects, mediates via Zoom, prepping joint statements to stem the bleed. Publicists spin over to Mia Samuel's camp, leaks stories of his post-show olive branch text. Jennifer's highlights her commitment to healing dialogues. Yet, the noise amplifies divides, exposing how one mic drop can microphone check an entire industry's hypocrisies, turning personal passion into public property, where every like is a vote, every share a shiv. Thanks for watching and subscribe my YouTube channel.